guys, welcome back to Firewolf Self-Reliance. I want to do a video today, and I've been trying to get this video done all day. It's been an absolute major pain for some reason. But I want to do a video today on my gear loadout for my current Wilderness Survival Pack / Day Pack. When I'm talking to people about the wilderness survival subject, the questions I'm asked the most are, what type of gear do I get and how does it work? And I'm aiming these videos at the beginners, not necessarily you experienced guys, but the beginners. Run into a lot of people that are just coming into this. If they don't have the skill set built up yet, and they don't have the tools, well, I'm going to give you guys some good examples of what I think you could carry in your pack. So let's get started. So one of the first things I'm going to go over is going to be my navigation kit. And the reason I'm going over this first, you guys get started out there, you're out on the trail, you guys are going out into nature, you need to spend the money on a good compass and learn how to use that. And one of the ones I can highly recommend is going to be the Sun 2 MC2. So I've got this with a set of Ranger pace beads. I've got an emergency whistle on the end of it. I've got a waterproof notebook, 2 mechanical pencils, the other one's in my pack, and a topo map of the area. And doesn't matter where I'm going, how long I'm gone, it doesn't matter. That's always going to be in whichever pack I'm using. Move some things out of the way here. Next is going to be tools, cutting tools. In this case, the majority of it is going to be cutting tools. One is going to be a multi-tool, and I went ahead and just fanned this one out so you guys can see it. I'm not spending a bunch of time on it. This is not a Leatherman, it's a mossy oak. I've had this for several years, and I haven't had any problems with it. I'm very happy with it, and it works well for me. It doesn't have an awl in it. I wish it had that, but I can get by without it. So, and it's got the saw blade and the knife as redundancy to my other cutting tools, or as a backup to them, I guess I should say. Next is going to be a good folding saw, and this is the Bahco Laplander folding saw. If you guys haven't seen these are very popular. I've had this one for about 3 years. Used it quite a bit. I haven't had any problems with it. The price point is a major point for me. I think I paid 20 bucks for this. But this is another one of those tools that is in every kit that I have. I don't care where I'm going again, what I'm doing. This is always with me in case I've got to process firewood or wood for a shelter. That's with me. And with those tools and a good knife, in this case my Mora Garbird, there's not a whole lot I can't accomplish out there. These handful of tools basically are all I need to get done whatever I need to. And if you guys not familiar with this knife, and you guys are looking for a good knife to start with, this one's one I highly recommend. I was apprehensive when I first ordered this. I've had this for well over 3 years now, and I am very, very pleased with it. It's a full tang knife. It's a high carbon steel knife. The blade's about 4 1/4 inches long. It's got that good sharp 90-degree spine on it. And that criteria is what I recommend for a survival knife, bushcraft knife, whatever you want to call it. Not one of those big gaudy things you see in Walmart or wherever, but something like this. And price point, you're looking about 80-90 bucks for one of these, and well worth every time I've spent. I just got a custom sheath made for it. As a backup to that, I've got my Mora Companion. This is a rat tang knife. Doesn't have that sharp 90-degree spine, or mine's not too sharp. No, it's not full tang, but again, I've carried these knives together in my pack for quite some time now, and it always works out for me. I've got, as part of my repair kit, on the back of the plastic sheath, a sewing needle. And, oops, everything falling apart over here. And as far as the sewing needle goes, if I'm out in the field and have to sew something up, I'm going to look to my primary cordage, which is going to be number 36 bank line. You guys aren't familiar with this, it's a tar covered line. You can break these strands down to use it for fishing line, a sewing kit. This is one of the smaller rolls. You can get a 1 pound roll. I'm going to be ordering one of those pretty soon. These smaller ones just don't seem to last long enough. So this is not only going to be my primary cordage, but also, like I was saying, is going to be part of my repair kit. If I got to repair clothing or a pack strap, something like that, between this and the sewing needle I'm carrying, I can do that. And it's got 101 uses, right along with a 1-inch roll of Gorilla Tape. And this has a multitude of uses. I can patch my shelter. I can use it to help build my browse bed, which I'll show you guys in a minute. I can use this as a fire extender or fire starter. And I usually carry, like I said, one 1-inch roll, sometimes two, it just depends. But there's 101 uses for this as well. Excuse me, you guys. Next is going to be my emergency signaling kit, and this has got a number of different items in it. One is going to be a Fox 40 whistle. Next is going to be 2 pieces of brightly colored cotton material. In this case, it's a bandana. And then just a scrap piece of t-shirt that's nice bright orange. This I primarily use for like a waypoint marker or an emergency flag. I can hang this up in a tree. I can see where my camp is at or where my last waypoint was at. Or I can use it to signal for rescue. Just hang it up in a tree and hope someone sees it as they're looking for me. Next is going to be one of those bright orange hunter's vests like you see here. And this is just a cheap little thin plastic piece of crap, but I think I spent about $1.50 on this. It was worth the investment. So I can throw this on and I can wear my my emergency signal. I can move around my camp with this on, and hopefully someone looking for me can see me moving. So this is one of my active emergency signaling devices, right along with my mirror, my whistle, and again, going back to the cotton material, I can use these as passive signaling devices. Just hang them up somewhere and wait for someone to see it or hope that someone sees it. Put this down out of the way. Next is going to be my fire kit, and mine's pretty simple. I carry usually 3 Bic lighters, one in my shirt pocket, one in my pants pocket, one in my pack. But 3 Bic lighters with the Gorilla Tape wrapped around it for use as a fire starter or fire extender. 1 large ferro rod. This is a 5-inch by 1/2-inch ferro rod. I'm going to get one about 6 inches long. I have it attached to a bright orange lanyard, and what happens, this, I can put it on my belt. It's got a quick release. This way I can take it off, use it, put it back on here, and put it in my pocket. This way if it falls out of my pocket, I don't lose it. And with those items, as far as my fire kit goes, I can use a magnifying lens on my compass to get a solar fire going if I've got sunlight. I don't carry a regular magnifying lens or a Fresnel lens. I just use a magnifying lens on my compass. Next is going to be a DIY emergency fishing kit or hobo fishing kit, whatever you want to call it. This is something I put together myself. And there's videos out there on YouTube you can watch on how to put one of these together. And this gives me a little bit of an edge as far as food goes. If I'm near a body of water, creek, river, stream, lake, whatever it may be, and I want to fish for my food to supplement the food that I'm carrying with me and make it last longer, I can go out and look for fish. Next is going to be a good pair of work gloves. These are the Mechanics Impact gloves. Someone gave me these and they're great. I don't know about you, but I'm clumsy. I'm always getting blisters and splinters in my fingers, so these do an excellent job of preventing that. So I highly recommend a good pair of work gloves. Next is going to be my little DIY first aid kit. And I recommend you guys putting your own first aid kit together, not going out and buying one of those pre-made things, but put a kit together that suits your particular needs, your individual needs. And because I've got things in here for upset stomach, toothaches, I'm getting older, so I'm starting to fall apart, or I feel like I am. So again, that's suited to my needs. I'm carrying a Pocket Juice power bank for my iPhone, and I think I can get about 2 or 3 charges out of this. Not a bad little product, a little bit weighty, but so be it, it's well worth it. 2. My headlamp, and this is a Petzl headlamp. Pretty good little headlamp. Wasn't real expensive, but I like it. It's been dependable thus far. It's got 3 different settings, which I like. And I'm using the headlamp instead of a flashlight, so I can put this on my head and keep my hands free to be able to do whatever tasks I need to without having that flashlight in my hand. So I've got that and a spare set of batteries. Next, I'll leave this off to the side. Next is going to be my shelter kit. And the shelter kit is not just a cover, it is a handful of things. Excuse me. Meaning I want something to sleep under, something to sleep on, something to sleep in, so I can stay dry and warm at night. So what I've got as far as my cover element goes is going to be a heavy-duty space blanket. This has got the Mylar on one side. It's got the brightly colored plastic on the outside, in this case bright orange for visibility. Hopefully, again, a rescuer looking for me can see this out in the trees. It's also got reinforced grommets, which I highly recommend. If you guys are looking for one of these, get the one with the reinforced grommets. And the 2 I can think of or recommend the most is either going to be the Pathfinder emergency blanket or the Arcturus. And I've got the Arcturus. I'm getting ready to order one of the Pathfinder emergency blankets soon. So that covers my cover element. Now as far as something to sleep on, I've got, and you guys have probably seen this, or seen videos on this on YouTube, I've got 2 50-gallon drum liners. I can take these and stuff these full of debris, leaves, grass, whatever I can find around me, stuff it in there, tape them shut, put them together. I've got a browse bed to keep me up off that cold, hard ground, keep me from losing my body heat to the earth due to convection. So I can use these again to make a mattress. And like I said, I'm getting older. Trying to sleep on hard ground, I can't do it. If I tried that, I would be in an emergency situation. And with that cover element, I need to back up a little bit, is going to be a paracord quick deploy Ridgeline. It's about 40 foot of paracord. And it's already set up and ready to go to set that shelter up quickly if I need to get out of the rain or I've got rain coming. I can set this up in about 2 minutes with this. And that's about the only paracord I carry. Again, back up to the number 36 bank line. That's what I use as a primary cordage. I can do anything with that. I don't feel the need to carry a ton of paracord with me. 4 tent stakes. And this style tent stake is my favorite. It's got the large head on it. Like you see here, I can go right straight through the grommets on my shelter, right straight into the ground, and I don't have to tie off, bank line to the grommet, then to the tent stake. I can just go straight through, get it pinned down, and get it done. Next is going to be something to sleep in, and this is one of the sleeping bags I've been using in this, or I should say bivy sack, not a sleeping bag. This is the SOL thermal bivy sack. I've had this thing for years. I was skeptical when I bought this. Kind of impressed with it for warmer or mild weather. Come wintertime when everything's freezing cold, I'm going to have something a little bit heavier, but I'm impressed with this thus far. And they make some pretty good products, I think. Alright, next is going to be my water processing kit. What I mean by that. This isn't just a container to boil water in. There's different items in here, categories of items in here to help me process or disinfect my water. One is going to be a metal container. In this case, it's my titanium canteen cook set, and this is from Pathfinder. I absolutely love this. All the cook sets I have, this is my favorite, and it's the lightest, which I really like. But I've got, if I had to boil my water to disinfect it, I've got 3 containers right there to be able to do so. Get this back together. And there's a backup or added container, before I forget it, aside from this. My pack itself, I'm carrying a hydration bladder inside the pack, and this is about 84 ounces. I think is what it holds, 84 ounces. So not every container I have is metal. I can If I need to boil water, let it cool, then pour it in there. I don't have to have just metal containers. This works just fine. Now, getting back to this, aside from boiling water, and the reason, I need to back up a little bit, the reason I'm showing all of these is, or these different ways of processing the water, not just boiling it. I'm out here on the West Coast where we have fire restrictions most of the year. I may not be able to get a campfire going to process water or to stay warm under. I may have to sit that shelter up in an A-frame configuration to reflect body heat down upon myself. I just may not be able to get the fire going without the danger of starting a wildfire. So out here you have to find different ways of accomplishing things you need to do without the fire. So in this case, again, aside from the metal containers to boil water in, I've got a Sawyer Mini for filtration. I've got Coleman tablets for disinfecting the water. Put 2 of those in a canteen, wait 30 minutes, and it's good to drink. And with this particular set, it comes with another bottle of tablets. After you've disinfected the water, you can throw 2 of these in the water after that 30 minutes, and it's supposed to kill the taste. So we'll see. I haven't tried these yet. With that system, I also have a Millbank bag, and this is my pre-filter or strainer. If I've got my water source is dirty, it's grass in it, dirt, bugs, leaves, whatever, I can strain that out through this into my filtration system, or into my filter, my Sawyer Mini, or into my canteen before I drink it or before I process it. That way it keeps the garbage that's in the water from ruining my filter, or the simple fact I just don't want to drink that garbage. So this is something else that is in every kit that I carry, regardless of which filter, which metal container I'm carrying. This is in every pack I take out. This is a great product, and I highly recommend you guys looking into getting one. And this one was made by Shelmer Bushcraft, and worth every dime. Next and last item, because of those fire restrictions again, I may not be able to have a campfire to cook food if I decide to go out and have lunch while I'm on the trail. So I got my little titanium Pathfinder stove, and I don't have the fuel canister with it, but I can use this for cooking lunch. If I'm in a pinch, I don't have my filter, I don't have my tablets, I can actually use it to boil my drinking water. Now that's only going to last so long because of the fuel canister. At some point that's going to run out. But again, this is just something I carry when it comes to getting around the fire restrictions. Hope this video helps you guys out. I've got a new blog series I'm doing on my website at firewolfselfreliance.com called Beginner Basics, Gear, and Uses, and I'm actually going over each category of items a little more in depth than just this video. Might explain things a little bit clearer. I'm not the greatest at making videos, sorry y'all. I'm not an actor. I'm trying to learn how to put out good content, or working on it. So as for now, hope you guys enjoyed this. We appreciate you. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Send us your questions and comments. But again, thank you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.